The following program is brought to you by the Internet Broadcasting Organization.
Hello, welcome to Mama J Speaks Unlimited from 2 to 3 today. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoy the tree of life that I've displayed today. That is to help you understand that we're all connected in some way. Today, my guest is Dave Watts. He is a retired Air Force cryptoanalyst, and he actually worked with the NSA in the military. Ooh.
Yeah.
And now he has been, since he's left the military, he got his BA in psychology and has been a counselor, and now he works with the veterans at the VA, as he is also a veteran himself. And what he does is he uses the angel harp to help soothe those in the hospice unit of the VA hospital. So, welcome, Dave Watts.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Now, I know you more as Papa D and Papa Smurf because, well, just a little side backstory. Mr. Dave Watts here, he's one of the original members of the Om Chant group that, yes, Om. We would all go out together and we would just have a good old time. And then we would just suddenly decide to chant Om. And it was always fun, and it always ended up being something interesting.
Amazing things happened.
Yes. At any rate, tell us about your journey from when you were in the military and then how it brought you to where you are now at, where you're using an angel harp now to soothe people.
Long story.
Okay, make it in 10.
I know. My military career, I did spend in cryptoanalysis and, working during the Vietnam War. And it led me to get a degree in psychology to try and figure out why people want to kill each other.
Yeah,
and, right? What is this all about that people on this little blue rock can't get along together and respect one another, and everybody has their way. So,
well, did you figure it out yet?
I'm still working. That's still the journey.
Yeah, well, that'll probably be the greatest mystery as to why there is that darkness that runs so deep, and it's more or less a generational, societal.
Yeah.
It goes eons.
And I am of the firm belief that we are in store for
huge change.
Huge change.
Oh yes,
yeah.
I feel it. Do you feel it?
Oh, I feel it. I feel it big time. And
Awesome.
That's part of the harp story. Is it more or less just landed in my lap.
Did it come with wings?
Well, yeah. Actually, it has some wings on the harp.
Yes, beautiful.
So, I went through my career and, raised a family and blah, 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 and ended up here in Florida from Colorado. And
Colorado, that's where you were stationed for most of your time?
No, I was in Southeast Asia for the whole time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
so were you right there down in the main?
My first tour was, overseas tour was Okinawa, where they had what they call the Joint SOBI Processing Center, which is, all the forces, Navy, Army, Marines, everybody, we worked together for analysis on, the Vietnam situation. And then they sent me to remote northeast Thailand, right across the border from Laos, about 6 miles from North Vietnam. And and we used a U-2 at that time. They had downsized, miniaturized all the equipment so they could put it in the back of a U-2. And then we've had a van outside. We could fly it, the U-2 from the ground.
Oh,
that
really?
was they're talking about drones now. I mean, we had, basically drones
Back then.
Yeah.
But they were more caveman
had,
style.
Pilot had to take it off and land it, but we flew it.
Right. Well, a lot of the things that we're now dealing with, it's been going on for years.
Oh, the NSA has. Oh, I don't know if I should be talking about this, but anyway, here it goes. Here's the controversy. The NSA has been doing their thing, gathering intelligence on just about everything
and everyone.
I went in '69. They were doing it then.
Wow.
So, there were listening stations everywhere, and they've gotten better at it. I mean, obviously, the technology now has the means of picking out keywords, et cetera, that didn't exist, and all these miles and miles and miles of tapes they had none. I mean, there's no way they could actually listen to all of them.
Wow. Now they have digital downloads, I'm sure.
Digital downloads, and they have a new facility they're building in Utah, which is absolutely all storage. It is a football field of mega storage.
Really?
Yes. That's the whole facility.
So we should be concerned then, right?
They're increasing, as far as I can tell, their activity.
It just seems like they're aliens that have invaded. The ones that they say that, there's no Area 51.
You got it all wrong. I mean, we're the ETs, and they're the Earthlings.
Right.
And, we're here to help them raise their consciousness.
And they're resisting most of the time,
yes,
but our magic,
they are resisting. Yes,
the magic is actually the love that we have within us.
Absolutely.
To use that and be the light workers that we all are.
Be the light.
Most definitely. And so when you were in the military, had you had a religious background, or were you spiritual back then?
I became spiritual then. Before I went in the military, after I got out of high school, actually, I went to I was raised a Methodist, so I went to the minister and told him that I might be interested in a future. I had taught, all the classes and given sermons. I'd done all kinds of stuff.
You were just about being a priest. Almost.
A preacher. Yeah.
Preacher, priest. I'm from Catholic days.
There you go. But anyway, I went in and talked to him, and he basically said, "Do you know why I have this big congregation, this big church, and blah, blah, blah?" And I go, "Well, you seem to give a good message, and, you get along with everybody." And he goes, "No, I know how to draw in people and money."
Wow.
So that turned me instantly off.
Yeah, because it was all BS.
But the interesting thing about the military was, when I was overseas and you went to the base library, they had book after book after book on Buddhism, Taoism. I mean,
all the isms.
All the isms. Yes, exactly. So,
I like the isms.
Yeah, so I started picking up on all of that. And that's when I turned into the spiritual path.
Right.
Which made it very, very difficult to fight, I guess. With
guns and purposely have to kill people.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
the things I did, because I was also the flight reporter.
Oh, wow.
So when they decrypt something, now I couldn't read Vietnamese. I could break the codes, but I couldn't read Vietnamese.
That was an interesting job you had.
So then they'd read it, they'd write it out, and then I would send forward to, the air command places that they could strike.
Right.
And then, since we were intercepting the enemy communications, they would send messages back and said, yeah, there was a bomb run and it killed 42 soldiers and 17 women and children.
Oh, wow.
And so you start, 3 years of that.
That really affects your soul.
Body, oh, yeah, absolutely.
Your heart and your soul.
I have PTSD.
Right.
Because
a lot of veterans do. I would say, 99%?
Yeah, well, the ones that were in any type of combat situation, yes.
Yeah, I know my dad, he was in Vietnam as well, but he was in the Coast Guard. Mm-hmm. And what he actually did, he was on the boats that was retrieving all the dead bodies out of the water. And so that deeply, deeply affected my dad. Miss you, Papa.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He had a hard time talking about it and everything. So before he transitioned, I believe that he really started to have the full onset of all those memories starting to surface, and he had slipped into a deep depression along with a bunch of other stuff that was happening at the time. And to be there and see the whole process, I mean, I guess I have literally experienced watching a person go through their end of life. End of life.
End of life, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is...
And so as you got your BA at Purdue, right? I wanted to give him a master's degree, but he said no. I wanted to give him a
PhD.
Yeah, PhD. I was like, PhD, no, BA. But so when you ended up getting your bachelor's from Purdue, which is a very awesome university, that was one of my bucket list universities back in the day.
Yeah.
That never happened.
Well, when I started, before I went in the service, I started as an electrical engineer.
Oh, wow.
And
so what made you switch?
Well, the whole focus was because I had gone through that wartime experience, and I said, what's this all about? What's going on here? Something's wrong.
Way wrong.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense for human beings to just decide to shoot each other up.
And
just
I saw the ugliness
agree.
of dehumanization.
Goodness.
Everybody that was there, they wanted to call the Vietnamese gooks. They weren't human beings anymore. They were just something, like rats to be taken care of.
Oh, no. That's horrific. I mean, that...
Oh, yeah, that alone, blew me away.
I couldn't even imagine being in the military, even though I tried to go into the military. I took the ASVAB, but I get test anxiety.
Oh.
So I took the ASVAB, and they're like, oh, well, you can be a cook. And I just looked at them, and I'm like, no.
That's an interesting story, because I was being drafted because I went to Purdue my first year. I had a real good time, except that I kind of forgot things like books and classes.
Were you a party animal back then?
Yeah, well.
Just a smidge.
Just a smidge. But so rather than be drafted, I went into the Air Force thinking maybe I could get something useful in terms of being an air traffic controller. Yeah, exactly. But they were all filled up with applicants, and so I had to go in what's called the general field, which means they can do anything they want with me.
Oh, that's fabulous.
So I tested in the top 2%. And
genius.
Immediately they said,
genius.
And I remember my drill instructor, because he found out they called it the U.S. Air Force Security Service. So when they said that, I thought, I'm going to be a guard somewhere or something, right? And no, that's more like the Secret Service, more like the SS, Nazi SS. Almost.
Wow.
I shouldn't say that, I guess, but
it's only on the internet and goes worldwide. He's retired. He's harmless. He's
I'm harmless.
The angel harp now these days.
Right.
Really,
I am converted here.
Yes.
But and my drill instructor said, he says, I've heard for every one of you, there's somebody that follows you around with a gun, so that if you say something that is going to let out a secret, they shoot you.
Oh my goodness.
So there was a lot of mystic and mystery to what I did, because nobody knew what I did. I mean, nobody.
Yeah, talk about how. So, in essence, did you end up kind of having a double life as you?
Sort of.
Did you get married when you were in the military doing this job, or was it?
Yeah,
after?
I did actually.
So, did your wife at the time? Was she like?
She couldn't know what I did or where I was.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't, especially in Thailand.
Talk about keeping the mystery in a relationship.
I was in I was on a Royal Thai Air Force base. It wasn't even a U.S. base.
Oh, wow.
And the Thai government was neutral in the war in Vietnam, so we were not supposed to be there.
Because they were neutral.
Yeah.
God forbid anybody is neutral and just kind of goes with the flow and wants peace. And
well, the Thai government at that time wasn't real pretty either.
Oh.
I mean, they had problems with Cambodia,
Right.
So, I mean, they had their own issues.
I think everybody, no matter where in the world it's been, everybody has gone through the elements of war. Everybody's gone through the elements of slavery. Everybody has gone through the elements of dehumanizing another human being.
Yeah, look what we did to the Native Americans.
Right. There is that constant feeling that we just have to kill that which does not agree with what we
have
want
to be right
all the time, instead of just understanding that everybody has a different perspective.
Makes right.
Might makes right. Yeah, it might work. It might do this. It might do that. But so now that you have gone through that portion of your life that has put you onto the spiritual path, how long have you been on the spiritual path? Do you still want to get into the point of being a preacher like you had when you were a Methodist?
No, no, not really.
I think you're a holy man in your own right.
Well, I feel that way sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, people are attracted to me. They talk to me and they open up, you know, pretty easily to me about things, and so I talk to them. So in some ways, I feel, you know, guided in that sense.
You have the divine light no matter what.
Yeah, well, I mean, I try.
That's why you're Watts. You have the...
There you go. My Watts are right out there.
Yeah. Well, when people want a counselor and everything, they can go to your website, which is...
Coaching is my forte.
www.coachingismyforte.com. Go ahead and go to his website. If you or someone that you know or anybody is having some problems, especially if you're someone that has post-traumatic stress disorder, he is a veteran himself, and he would be able to assist and help you in going through that and helping you hopefully heal from that.
Healing is a strange word to put with PTSD, because typically, I mean, all the people that I've talked to, you know, it never goes away. You learn how to bring it up and deal with it.
Okay.
I mean, it's there, and it's changed your life. I mean, so something that life changing isn't going to just go away,
right? But
that you can learn to deal with it, and you can. I have eliminated, well, for the most part, even I do sometimes, but the nightmares and the night sweats and, you know, those types of things.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And the constant just vigilance and hypersensitivity and those types of things, you know, sometimes they're there, but I mean, typically I don't have any problems with them.
Well, what about those that have that high aggression and everything?
It's tough to deal with. I mean, it really is.
Did you have to deal with that at some point yourself?
Yeah, a little bit. I wasn't because I was non-combative. I mean, right. my thing came from just I would go downtown. NKP, where I was a very small village, and it was also a refugee area. So when I would go downtown, I'd see these people with no arms, no legs, etc. And you sit there and go, "Did I do that?" Or they give you a dirty look because you're an American, and you know you probably killed their grandfather, family, somebody. Right. I mean, you know, so they have that, and you know, you just
that resentfulness, animosity, right?
And you feel that when you're there, and and you see it, and you just don't know. Was I involved? I mean, you couldn't. I mean, there's no way to know that, obviously, right. But I mean, you have that internal feeling.
You take on that personal responsibility because you realize that when you go into the military, you're part of that team, and it's a reflection, right, of whatever.
And if I
goes
sent out
on,
a report that said, you know, bomb this place, and they bomb the place, and you know, people die. I mean, you know, who's responsible? Me? I mean, technically no, but
you were just taking orders.
Oh yeah, it's just you had no choice. I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, you know, I could stop doing it.
That is why I never went into the military, because I probably would have gotten kicked out. I would have been like, why are we doing this? What's the point?
The stigma of a dishonorable discharge is huge.
Yeah,
I mean, it really is, and it sticks with you for life. And I mean, I didn't want to deal with that. I mean, and I was a rebel. I mean, you know, last 6 months, they about 6 months before I got out, they brought me in and told me I had to calm down and not, because I was a big influence on the troops and their attitudes. And
you were inspiring them.
We did things.
Oh.
We had a publication that we put out. We had printed downtown called Worm's Eye View.
Oh, that must have been interesting.
Yeah,
Got a lot of...
WORM stood for We Openly Resist Military Stupidity.
Oh, wow. That was very blatant. It just... There you go. Right in your face.
Yeah, so...
Oh, I can understand that.
They didn't like that.
Yeah, I could
we had
see why.
Worms Day parties and... yeah.
I probably would have been hanging out with you if I was in that era for sure. I came after that era, but anyways. So back onto your
sorry,
spiritual
here I get
path.
sidetracked don't I?
It's okay. Well, you're sharing a huge part of your life, and this is good because this is what can help other people that have been involved in those similar situations.
There's hope. Yeah.
Yeah, and that even for you to go from being a Methodist as to what you were probably brought up with, yes,
Right.
and then go into the military where it had to be very left-brained and everything, and deal with the situations you had to deal with, still realizing that something deep inside you had a deeper and a more meaningful, connection,
relationship with
something beyond just yourself and what was outwardly.
You call it God's or spirit, whatever.
Right,
you put
the
it
universe.
The universe, yeah.
So,
the infinite.
this angel harp.
Yes.
How did you stumble upon the angel harp?
I do audio-visual work for a First Unity Church over on 4th Street, and Barbara Culp played during the meditation part of the healing ceremonies on Wednesday evenings that we have every week. She would play the angel harp. And she kept coming up to me and just looked me right in the eye and said, "You need to play an angel harp." And I said, "You're crazy." I mean,
that's not manly enough for me.
Yeah, I'm in the military. I can't.
I wouldn't be caught dead with an angel harp. Give me your gun. No.
No, but I just said, I know nothing about a harp. Nothing.
Right.
I played clarinet in junior high school, and that was the end of my musical career. I have a few drums that I beat on, things like that. But she kept at it. And so between services on Sunday one day, she dragged me out to our meditation garden that we have, put her harp in my lap, and said, "Play." So I did, and I found myself closing my eyes and playing.
Wow.
And
you went into a meditation.
Yeah, I did. And what I didn't realize is that people had been hearing it and coming into the meditation garden.
Wow.
And I ended up with just not her and I, but with I guess around 10 other people.
Oh,
and they all said that they loved it.
Right.
All right. And so I'm going, I've never played this thing before. How can I do this? And they just absolutely love it. This doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
So anyway, she had talked to the person that she got her harp from, and she had a loaner. So she loaned me a harp.
Oh,
yeah.
Beautiful.
And I still have it. And so, I mean, it's like it just fell into my lap. Here's people that like it, and here's a harp.
Yeah, here, connect the dots. This is for you.
This is for you. And so I just played with it for a while and didn't do much with it. And then we started playing together. We actually played duet.
Really?
Harps.
I was wondering about that because I stumbled across actually her business card. I think we sort of kind of know each other because of... That's another reason why Dave and I know each other from the Unity Church in St. Pete, First Unity. And so I stumbled across her card. I'm like, this must be the woman that Dave got the harp from.
Yeah. And so we were doing that, and then she has become ill recently and has some health issues going on. And so I've been playing it on every Wednesday night. Plus, I do it at the VA. I go out there at least twice a week and for 3 to 4 hours. And believe me, you play a harp for 4 hours straight.
Wow.
I've had bloody fingers before.
I had no idea that you've been doing that.
Yeah.
See, secret life still going on.
Yeah. So I go into the rooms. A lot of these people are out. I mean, I am told, and I believe that hearing is the last thing that
To go.
people lose.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I just play, and you can see stress relief, physical stress relief
in the body.
It loosens up. You see the wrinkled brows and the clenched teeth and things like that relax, and
right.
And it's also amazing when families in the room, because a lot of times they'll be distraught and they're walking around wringing their hands and they don't know what to say. And one of the worst things that people can do, as far as I'm concerned, is this guy's obviously passing, transitioning,
right. Mm-hmm.
and they go up and pat him on the shoulder and say, "It's going to be okay."
In theory, it is going to be okay.
It is going to be okay.
Because he's going to transition and be on the other side, and and his spirit and soul is going to be well alive.
It sounds so shallow.
Right.
But anyway, so I play. I sit back out of the room and look in a little hallway or whatever, and I just start playing, and you start suddenly seeing these people calm down. They start talking to each other, and then they start reminiscing about whoever's life, and there's almost laughing and
wow
things. It changes. It really changes the attitude and the ambiance in the room.
Yeah, because it's that healing sound.
The harp has a very, very mellow, very
definitely,
and it's a powerful thing. I'm finding, and it's not me. I mean,
right.
because I don't play it; it plays me.
Right.
I literally go away and just kind of almost drift off sometimes.
Oh, really? Well, if I let you play for a few minutes, I might have to go kick. Okay, stop. But no, I do want you to play some of the angel harp and everything, being that that you are putting this with your counseling that you do now and everything, incorporating it and stuff. So the
nice thing when you're not, since I'm not paying attention to the harp, I can carry on conversations. I can do whatever I want to do. So, I mean, if somebody's really stressed, I can play the harp and talk to them at the same time.
Right.
So, I mean,
you are a multitasker.
Well, I don't know about that, but like I said, I'm not playing.
You're just allowing yourself to be the conduit.
And energy to flow through me and my fingers to the harp.
Right.
And what happens at that point is just, as far as I'm concerned, magic.
I totally get it. I hope y'all understand it and find how exciting that
or
is.
You think I'm just really out there and, in Lulu Land.
Hey, it's not any different than anybody else being out in La La Land. And these days, we're all a bag of mixed nuts. So it's no big deal.
No, but I'm having fun.
And would you suggest that if people like this, that they look into learning how to play the harp as well? Because it really isn't that difficult.
No, it is not that difficult. I know I'm going to blow the terminology here, but these harps are basically an auto harp that's been tuned to I guess it's called a pentatonic scale. And I'm not sure about that word, but you can't really sit there and play a tune or a melody with this harp. It's not really designed for that.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Designed for just sitting and strumming and picking and and making sound good. It's more of an energy than it is a sound, as far as I'm concerned.
Gotcha. And or like an absolute
But so you
instrument.
Honestly can't really hit wrong notes. I don't.
I will totally have to try that one out.
Yeah, you will have to try it. I keep telling people they have to try it, and they're welcome to try mine anytime.
Definitely.
Because and if you can have any rhythm, now it does take some rhythm. I mean, and some coordination with the hands and fingers. But I mean, it's
because I'm thinking that might be interesting for even myself to maybe get into. Just for the simple fact that being a retired massage therapist and always having
it'd
something
be good for your fingers.
Yeah, just to do something.
Good activity, probably loosen them up.
Or just tighten them up after many years. I mean,
however that works.
But because I'm a very tangible type person. I like to touch things.
Right. Sure.
And everything, and so I'm very curious about it.
You want to play it?
Sure, that would be awesome.
You want to play it? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I'll play it.
What do you want me to show you? What you want me to do it first?
Yeah, show me first.
All right. I don't know if you get the sound or not.
Oh, yeah. That's so cool. That's amazing. Beautiful. Okay, I hope I don't mess this up.
You can't mess it up. That's the thing.
Okay, here goes nothing. There, let's see.
See? A little practice. You want to do something powerful with it real quick?
Yeah.
Hold it up. Turn it up like this.
Oh,
And hold it like this against your body.
okay. Like this?
Yes.
All right.
All right. Now,
Okay, here we go.
strum it in
This way?
like that. And when you do that, picture energy coming in. Or first of all, I'm sorry, I got it backwards. Go out.
Go out.
Yeah. There you go. And what you do is you go out, you hold it real tight, and you'll feel the vibration up in your chest.
Oh, wow.
And that you're removing negative energy. You're pulling things out and releasing them as you do this.
Oh, I totally want to get one of these.
Yeah. And you do that 7 times, and then you turn around and you pull in the positive and et cetera of the energy of the harp. So it's even that's just an amazing experience if you sit there and actually kind of get into a meditative state
Oh
and do
my
that.
gosh,
It's
I
incredible.
totally see what you mean.
Yeah,
And it is just a beautiful sound. And knowing that anybody... Look, Mom. I'm playing the angel harp. Okay. Well, thank you.
You're hooked, right?
I am actually. I'm like, I want to keep playing. Oh, well, thank you so much
You're welcome.
for bringing that and sharing and everything. That I could see how that could be the best new addiction.
It could be therapy for everyone, and just for themselves if they had it at home.
Oh my
and just do that
gosh.
one exercise where they let things go and then bring in
Yes.
positive energy. It's an amazing thing.
Where does somebody get one of those?
There's a lady her name's Peggy Smith.
Peggy Smith.
Peggy Smith.
Peggy Smith, give us a call. We want to know how to get one.
Yeah. She usually has an assortment or variety. Sometimes she gets used ones. Sometimes she gets it only has new. So,
Is she local where you could go look at
she's,
them and test them out
she's,
and stuff?
over in, I guess it's Largo area.
Oh, well, that's a sign.
Off of
She's-
Seminole Boulevard. Yeah.
She's near She's near me.
She is. Yeah.
That's just amazing. I'm like,
And that's what I say every time I sit to play it. I just smile because it's not me. It's just, it is what it is.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But
it's fun. And so it is fun. It's enjoyable. I enjoy when I do it, and I know it's not about me. It's not.
Right.
I'm just here having fun.
You are such a wonderful energy to have hang out, because usually you'll catch this guy around just a bunch of females. And he's a nice, quiet guy that just takes it all in, and he has a great sense of humor and everything. So if any of you ladies want to date a nice guy, just saying. He'll even play the angel harp for you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think you cook, right?
I do. Well, yeah, except that, I'm becoming more of a raw vegan type.
Oh, well,
eater,
I'm sure that there's plenty of...
But I still cook. I mean,
Right.
I don't have anything against people that eat meat or, whatever you want. And I will cook it for
Yes.
you, because I used to, in my previous life, be a very good cook.
Yes.
A reasonably...
Yeah. Isn't it amazing how when we go through certain elements in our lives, we're constantly being reborn again?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So, what do
and
you...
our friend Marie has been a huge influence on that.
Right.
That to me. I mean,
Yeah.
She really has.
I got to see her recently, and she's flying high, because
that's
I got
what I
a Diksha blessing from her now, and she just really shifts. And you know what? I really feel it's because of the oming that we've done as a group, the four of us. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it probably did have something to do with it. I mean, that was kind of a real free energy, thing that just spontaneously happened.
And it was fun, and I really feel I'm feeling that I would love to move into the element of really just becoming an Om chant facilitator, not necessarily doing it in the mob chant aspect. Right. But bringing it more on the personal level for people. And now with my new business cards, I do have that listed on the back. Good that Om chant or chant facilitator to help with that type of healing and raising of the vibration.
The vibrational level, exactly.
And everything.
Yeah, it really brings in a vibration.
Yes.
Om is allegedly the first sound or word.
Primordial, right?
Yeah, that the universe had heard. I mean, it was the first experience of sound.
And so I can say, like, even when I'm at my
all
job,
things were created from it.
Boom. And so I very much, I kind of own it now. Om is my thing. It's mine. Just Om. You could do all the other type of meditations and chantings, but Om is mine. So I definitely have noticed that when my mother and I, when we've ommed with some other people, they have really expressed later on how that experience has totally shifted their lives. Yeah. And I'm like,
it can shift your awareness. Yeah, it really can. I mean,
so I'm like,
all this stuff, so I don't, there are a lot of people out there that wouldn't agree with us, and, et cetera, but they've never, you
have
to
try.
You have to experience it, and you have to actually, do it without reservation, do it without...
Or expectations.
Expectation, yeah.
If you have an expectation of something, you'll probably end up disappointed, but if you just go in with pure abandon and surrender to the moment, it's just so freeing and amazing at the same time. Yeah. And so I'm very happy that you're doing what you're doing. And Mama Kay and I said you have to get that CD out. So what's the verdict on that CD coming out?
I'm actually working on it. John, the facilitator for the Wednesday healing service, where I play the harp for part of the service, has that all on recorded. So he thinks he can make me a CD, with some of those takes. So,
very good.
Yeah, I don't know how long it might take him to do it, but I mean, he's got it, and he knows I want it.
Oh, I definitely support you and see that happening for you. I think that if anybody that has gotten a chance to watch this segment today, check out First Unity Church on Wednesdays and go hear for yourself what Dave Watts does here. It's just so beautiful. And then also realize that if you need an end-of-life coach, this is another counselor that you can go to.
Someone in your family, or you have, you're having trouble dealing with, someone else's or a loss of someone else. Be happy to talk to you, and it's.
So, what made you decide to go specifically into end-of-life coaching?
I started doing some research with graduate students when I was at Purdue and we were dealing with end of life, and I realized how little people even acknowledged its existence. We took these poor Psych 101 students who had to volunteer, so many hours in experiments. And since ours was end of life, nobody wanted to do anything. They didn't really promote this research that we were doing. So they stuck us in literally a dungeon. It was the part of the ag building. So it was like a root cellar where we built a little cubicle out of plywood and stuff.
Yeah.
And put a lounge chair in there and hooked people up to a polygraph so they could measure their responses and stuff. And that's my job, was to run the polygraph. But
that must have been fun.
And they would put these kids in a meditation and then talk to them about their own death. And I mean, some of these people got really pretty freaked out. I mean,
really?
Yeah, because they never ever considered it. Never. That's why do you think they take military people or people into the military when they're 18? I mean, in that age.
Because they feel that they're invincible.
They're invincible, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
I still think I'm invincible.
Well,
I'm immortal. I mean, in the grand scheme of things,
we are all
immortal.
One, actually. Yes.
And we're all one. Yeah. And beyond this 3D dimension, we are absolute.
There is no separation.
No. But I thank you very much for
this has been fun. I like this.
Yeah. You're addicted now, huh?
I am addicted.
It happens every time. But I just wanted to share with everybody out there, in case you all didn't know it, it's a sidebar here. I am now affiliate promoter for the fashionhero.com, which is www.thefashionhero.com. It's an amazing new industry shift that is occurring where they want to change everything around and make it so anyone like you and I would be able to model and do what we want. So I have here, actually, I brought in this, my flyer, my poster. Let's see here. This is it. It's all nice and glamorous. But if you go to the website, you'll see this. There's a nice little video on there. And then when you sign up, make sure where it says where you heard it from and all that good stuff, recommended, look for Momma J, because I'm there and I want to support you in your dreams and whatever it is that you want to do. So thank you, Papa D. You'll always be my Papa D, you know that?
All right, I know, absolutely.
I'm your adopted daughter now. Hey, sisses. Even though I haven't officially met you yet, but I'm your adopted sis now. So shout out to you. All right, well, thank you so much, and I hope you all have a wonderful and fantastic day. And like I said, go to www.thefashionhero.com. Look for Momma J. Take care. Bye.
Oh.
This program was brought to you by the Internet Broadcasting Organization, setting the standard for new media broadcasting.